Failure is probably the most important factor in all of my work. Writing is failure, over and over and over again. My name is Ta-Nehisi Coates. I'm a writer. Right now I'm a national correspondent for The Atlantic. I have a great interest in how wide the umbrella of human rights and democracy can expand, who it can include and who it can include. If you truly want to understand a problem, if you truly want to understand, a situation, which is what, journalism is supposed to be about, you really have to have a firm grounding in history. My argument for reparations for slavery is quite simple. African Americans from, the time that they arrived in colonial America, through the time in the founding of the country, through their enslavement through that period, up through Jim Crow, if you want to be conservative, up through 1968, the relationship between black people and their country is of their country taking from them. There's no way to have a 250 plus year history of extracting resources from a community and think you're going to fix the problems within that community without putting at least some of that back. That's the case for reparations. It's actually quite simple. Well, West Baltimore shaped me a great deal. I was born in 1975. Only 7 years after Martin Luther King was killed, 10 years after Malcolm X was killed. And I emerged into a city in America where it appeared that African Americans were going to have all the promises that had been withheld from them, and on paper had a great deal of them. And yet the effects of history were all around me. And one of the dominant ideas, in the book Between the World and Me, which is, effectively an extended essay, told in a letter form to my son, is the notion of fear. For me, the immediate thing I saw was this lack of physical safety, the inability to secure your body, to protect your body from violence, from people who, live around you, from, forces that live outside of your community, as well as within your community. As a young person, I was simply obsessed with why that was. And that probably is the lion's share of my work. I was motivated to pursue a career as a journalist because I was always an inquisitive child. I was always one to ask questions. Journalism was a career in which I got to pick the questions I wanted to ask, and then somebody paid me for asking them. And the challenge of writing is to see your horribleness on page, to see your terribleness, and then to go to bed and wake up the next day and take that horribleness and that terribleness and refine it and make it not so terrible and not so horrible. And then to go to bed again and come the next day and refine it a little bit more and make it not so bad. And then go to bed the next day and do it again and then make it maybe average. And then one more time, if you're lucky, maybe you get too good. And if you've done that, that's a success. When I first got the call from the MacArthur Foundation, I was ecstatic. And then I was deeply honored. We labor in the dark. If anybody even reads what I'm doing, that's a great day.